Hello everyone, happy May. This is Josh Stacy, Recreation Services Manager for Bentonville Parks and Recreation. I hope you all had a chance to watch the April monthly review last month. I know that there was a little bit of, it got a little funky with the video of our staff, when the conversion over to YouTube for whatever reason kind of jumbled it up. But I still hope it was helpful, kind of put a face to a name, and the information in there was good for you to kind of have an update on what's going on and across the entire department here at Bentonville Parks and Recreation. If you ever have any content you would like to see presented in these monthly reviews, please let me know. I'm happy to take requests and make sure we're covering things that you're interested in knowing more about in your community. So please feel free to email me at jstacy@bentonvilleair.com. Or just pop by my office and let me know what you're thinking. May is a busy month, but it's a really exciting month here at Bentonville Parks and Recreation. It's one of my favorite months of the year. You got kind of everything is starting to wind down and wrap up with the youth sports programming and everything that's going on there, but everything's gearing up for all of our aquatic facilities and everything to open up for the summertime. Our camps are getting ready to start. And it's just always a really exciting time, a lot going on, and it's always a lot of fun and a lot of energy in and around all of our facilities and parks. As you should know, hopefully you're memorizing this when you come into the buildings every day. Our mission is enriching lives through recreation, leisure, and culture. And it's important that you understand why you're here every single day you come to work. I want to talk just briefly about what our mission kind of means as far as the actual words in it: recreation, leisure, and culture. If you're a part-time worker with us or on the recreation team in any way, obviously your focus most of the time is on recreation, sports programs, events, swimming, greeting people at a front desk. All those things are part of the recreation branch, so to speak, of our mission. But the biggest user of our department, so to speak, is actually going to be those leisure users. It's the 600,000 people a month on our trails. It's the people, 3.5 million people, as our count of last year, that are in our parks, are coming in, to our Orchards Park, going and just sitting on a park bench, enjoying the scenery, just walking down at Town Branch Park. Although right now it's not the easiest place to get to, but people that just sit in the gazebo and enjoy themselves in a leisureful way. That's kind of the point of that leisure. Is those people that come and use our facilities, parks, trails in a non-structured way. And a lot of that you'll see as we've kind of shown, and as we keep talking about these parks projects, leisure is a big component. You don't see a lot of, we got to build a whole bunch more soccer fields or baseball fields, although we will do that at Phillips Park. But even at Phillips Park, there's a big piece of leisure in there. There's a splash park, there's dog parks, there's things for people to come and just do at any point in time in the day in an unstructured, unorganized way. And then culture is oftentimes it's kind of the one that kind of gets, maybe it's not forgotten, but it's not as big a focus as maybe it should be. But culture is a big part of what we do, and it doesn't always have to be a very structured, meaningful, we're doing this to provide culture, but a lot of the things we do provide culture naturally to our community. Being able to host a lot of the celebrations and festivals and religious ceremonies that take place from all different, diverse groups of people that take place at our parks, that take place in our facilities, that is those folks practicing their culture, which would not be the native culture to us, but then other people from the community get to see it and experience it through the lens of being able to see it and what's going on, and they're getting exposed to that great culture and those great celebrations. and it's a really, really neat part of what we do. And now there are some, purposeful things that we do with culture, trying to do, while we don't necessarily host First Fridays, that's a big cultural event for our community in the downtown area. Different art and the public art that we put on our trails and in our parks is a huge piece of that culture. So it's definitely a focus of us all the time, and it's always something I think as you, a team member, should be thinking about, what is the culture when I come to where I work, and is there opportunities to expand on that a little bit more, and to make a bigger cultural impact where you're at. Some celebrations, some anniversaries to celebrate. Laura, Haley, Faith, Avery, Jillian, Lexi Sharp, and Faith and Andrew. Thank you for being here. Everybody more than 1 year. We have 2 years and 5-year celebrations. A lot of these, I think all but Laura. I know Faith has moved on to our outdoor rec team. She started as a lifeguard. This is a lot of our aquatic staff. A lot, as you probably can guess, a lot of our aquatic team starts in May, gearing up for the summer, and then we're always lucky to have many of you stick around and work for us all year round. But I definitely want to call out Faith and Andrew. 5 years of service, is fantastic. They've been really important members of our team for a long time, leading our aquatics staff. And I know their time is getting close to being up here. I hope we can maybe get one more. Maybe we can put a 6 on that next year. And we'll really miss them whenever their time's up here. But they're going to go on and do some really great things. But we really appreciate what they've done for us so far. And then several people to welcome to the team. Aaron, Carter, Alexis, Maria, Cameron, Meredith, and Lucas, welcome aboard. Hope to see a 1 by your name, next year at this time. It is only May 15th that I'm doing this, so there's going to be a big long list probably in the June one, with all of our other seasonal staff coming on board for aquatics camps and those types of things. So that list will be pretty significant next month. A couple other things to celebrate. Square to Square was a great success. We had, I would guess, we have just about 1,700 people signed up for that event. Several of them doing it virtually, but on Ride Day, May 1st, we had at least 1,200 people come through, and it was just, I'm kind of calling this out. We've had a lot of really good events. We've had runs, we've done tournaments, we've been running youth sports and different activities for a long time in the middle of COVID. But May 1st at Square to Square was the first time in over a year, for me anyway, and I think for a lot of people, that things started to really feel normal again. And Square to Square, it was just it was a beautiful day. Everything went really well. Everyone was so happy and appreciative and enjoying themselves back on the Greenway at that event. It was just really kind of a big, took a deep breath and let it out finally to say, all right, things are finally really going to where we want them to be, and fast. And then it's just exciting that we're going to basically be able to open the community center on June 1. We'll talk about that later. The DAC, Lawrence Plaza, and Melvin Ford pretty much to their normal state here on June 1st or before. So it's just really exciting that we're back to doing what we do and doing it fully, and it's just really, it's worth celebrating. It's time for us to enjoy and be able to celebrate our trials and tribulations over the last 18 months, and now being able to be on this end of it and back to doing the things we love to do. Stat of the month, maybe it's not specifically a stat, but I thought May is Bike Month. It'd be good to kind of share this, because if you don't know it, Bentonville is the mountain bike capital of the world, self-proclaimed, but I think rightfully so, to the point of we have 35 miles of trails in Bentonville. That's just our trail, Bentonville Parks and Recreation Trail. There's also several more miles of trail at Kohler, and then of course all the connection to the back 40 and Bella Vista and all the trails they're doing, and everything else that we've got between here and Fayetteville and beyond. Northwest Arkansas really is, the mountain bike capital of the world. There's nobody else out there who's investing more and is consistently adding, improving, and creating single track soft surface trail than we are. And that's really exciting. It's again, they're in the world. We're not talking Arkansas. We're not talking the South region. We're not even talking the country. We're talking the entire world. There is nobody else investing, and it pays dividends. The economic impact of that is substantial, especially during a time like COVID. It was one of the things that people still could get out and do, and it really helped our local businesses, restaurants, hotels. It really helped them out, and we'll continue to serve them and be successful for them moving forward. So let's talk about customer service just a little bit. Our mission, our guests experience a welcoming environment with knowledgeable staff who consistently exceed expectations. So today we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the expectations of representing Bentonville Parks and Recreation. It's really one of the more important things that you do because you do it all the time. It's a privilege to work for the city of Bentonville, to work for one of the most desired places to live in the United States, to work for Bentonville Parks and Recreation, which is one of the best Parks and Recreation departments in the country. It really is a privilege, and I would hope that you are proud of where you work in the city that you work for and work in. But there also comes a little bit of expectation and maybe a little bit more. I don't want to call it a burden, but you could maybe see it that way in a way. It's a challenge of working for a city and having to represent yourself and the city all the time, kind of whether you like it or not. It's just the reality. So the expectation from us, for everybody, is again, obviously, to always hold yourself, to the highest degree of the law, to always be kind and respectful, and showing yourself to be a great citizen of our community and a great contributor to it because you are. But even when you're off the job, again, you represent the city of Bentonville and Bentonville Parks and Recreation, so you always have to keep that in mind. And even when, and sometimes the question always is, where does the job start and where does it end? And while we definitely don't want you taking work home with you, we don't want you working at home, working off the clock, doing those things. But your kind of work day, even before you're on the clock, as soon as you put that uniform on, you're now a representative, a shining beacon of Bentonville Parks and Recreation. So even though you may not be at work yet, if you're on your way to work, if you've left your house and you've got your polo or your t-shirt or your lifeguard uniform on, and you're coming to the community center or to wherever it is you're going to work, you're representing us right then and there. And your actions obviously are going to be viewed as City of Bentonville Parks and Recreation actions. So you got to keep that in mind at all times. Wherever you go, whatever you do, especially when you're wearing anything work related, on how you act and how you're going to be judged is the way people are going to perceive who we are as a whole. So one of us, myself included, one bad mistake, one maybe lapse of judgment, one I just got really frustrated and did something I shouldn't have, but I was wearing my green bee. Now the world, the person, whoever the community thinks negatively of all of us, and not just me, but they think that way of all of us because look who I'm representing and look who I'm wearing. So it's important always to be cognizant and be thinking about that when you're in uniform. Definitely things you should not do while in uniform. You should not, drink alcohol, be at a bar. Obviously if you're of age, you shouldn't be even at the liquor store, even at Walmart. Don't go to Walmart and buy a 6-pack with your B, shirt on. And if you need to go to the store, if you need to go do those things, bring a change of clothes, change out of them after you clock out so that you can go do those things. Obviously, anything illegal, but just again, how you carry yourself, what your behavior is. You should only be wearing your uniform the way it's intended, meaning at work, during your shift, and then if you're going to go do anything else besides go straight home and change, bring a change of clothes so that you just don't put yourself in a situation where you forget. I mean, I know there's been many times where I have thought I was going to go straight home and I was like, oh, I'm going to stop at the store, I'm going to go do this now. So I just bring a change of clothes, or I actually leave some in my office so that I can just throw a different shirt on. That way, whatever I'm doing out and about, I'm not representing Bentonville, at least from a uniform standpoint, and I don't have to worry about those intentions or those possible consequences from doing so. And while you're at work, of course, and we'll talk more about this, and we have talked a lot about this for those of you who've been here for a while, while you're at work, again, there's an expectation of customer service. We kind of talk about the Disney experience and how do we go above and beyond to exceed expectations. We really definitely want everyone to live up and want to aspire to be as good of customer servants as we possibly can. And then a reminder again, while you're away from work, you're never really off the clock in a sense. Driveway to driveway with your uniform, always understanding that you're representing us at all times, and making sure that you're always representing yourself, therefore us in a positive manner in the community, no matter what you're doing. A couple of project highlights I want to talk about. I talked about Old Tiger or Tiger Track last time, but just kind of an update. We're still on track. Things are going really well with that construction. If you haven't driven by it recently, it may be worth your time just to drive by and see everything that's going on out there. And again, hopefully by midsummer, this is going to be open to the public. Again, just a very quick run through in case you for some reason didn't see last month. We're doing a completely new track, rubberized Mondo surface on the track. We're lighting the track so that you can use it in the early mornings or in the evenings. We're putting in a restroom, we're putting in a pavilion, adding some trail, also adding some trees in some areas. It's going to be it's a really needed upgrade and update to this facility, and it's going to be really, really nice. The community really uses this space a lot, and this is just going to be, even more so after the fact once we complete this project. I also talked about 28th Street Park last time, so I'm not going to go in depth on it this time. The reason I'm including it this month is because there's been a really cool video that's been updated that really runs you through this and highlights what is actually missing. And I kind of talked about it from this photo as the extension of Bright Road to go all the way up to 28th Street, which if any of you live in the southwest part of town or travel there to go to school or even come into the community center, that this is a pretty big need right now to be able to connect Bright Road to 28th. So that's a really nice piece of this project that's going to be able to take place. The video talks a lot about what that road looks like, so that you kind of go out, but why is that important? This is Parks and Recreation, not the road department. You're right, but that video also gives you some really cool 3D imaging of the park and shows you some of that. So we're going to share that in the comment section on the YouTube link. So when this is over, go down there, click into that, and check that out. It's going to be a really cool park. I'm really excited to see that open the first part of 2023. As I said before, we're celebrating being able to finally get back to the new normal, expanding our hours and services again at the community center. And we'll talk about the other facilities in a minute. So just to make sure everybody's on the same page here, on June 1st, which is the Tuesday after Memorial Day, we'll be expanding our hours at the community center. We'll be open until 8 o'clock Monday through Thursday. And then we're also going to be open again on Sunday from 12 to 6. So pretty much the normal hours. The only thing the only difference between March 2020 and this is we're closing at 8 Monday through Thursday instead of 9. And I think if Some of that decision was made based on previous demand, before COVID happened. So, but if for some reason our demand picks up and people are really wanting to be in our facility after 8 o'clock during the week, we'll expand that back to 9 o'clock when that takes place. Open swim coming back every single day. Starting June 1, we go to summer hours, so we're noon to 7, Monday through Thursday, noon to 6:30 Friday and Saturday, and noon to 5:30 on Sundays. Back to 7 days a week finally. There'll be a lot of people really celebrating that news. And also increasing our capacities, which, as I'm here on a Saturday at the community center right now, we're sold out in swim sessions, so that's going to really help everyone be able to utilize our pools and not to worry about selling out and capacity problems. Additional services: the Citizens Lounge, lobby, and libraries will all reopen again on June 1st. So the library drop box, which has been a big question that we've been getting a lot, that will also resume operation at that time, and people will be able to use our lobbies and lounge spaces again. Pickup basketball is coming back. That's been a big desire of a lot of our members and people who use our facilities to see that full or half court basketball being able to be played again. More 2-on-2, 3-on-3 games. Kids Center's reopening on Saturdays 9 to noon, and we'll also be taking 6-month-olds. We've been only at 2-year-olds and to 10-year-olds. Now we're going to go back to our normal 6-month to 10-year-old population to be able to serve them, which has been a big ask recently. And then our pool party room will be back open for rentals. The Downtown Activity Center is been open just from an administrative standpoint. We're not adjusting our hours. It's still going to be 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, but our conference room, our lobby, and our restrooms will be open again. And then we'll also be resuming some fitness classes in Studio B in June. The Splash Park's going to open this year. We did not open it in 2020. We're happy to be able to open it again on May 29th. That's Memorial Weekend Saturday. And it'll be open through September 12th. Every single day, 9 to 10, the water's turned on there. The one thing, maybe some of you have been here for a while, we are not staffing that facility this year. We've staffed it some in the past, and the decision was made that that's not really an industry standard for us to do that. And with the addition of new splash parks coming online in the near future, we felt like this was the right time to just go ahead and stop doing that. Melvin Ford Aquatic Center going to be open 7 days a week for open swim again, Monday through Thursday 12 to 5, Friday 12 to 7, and Sunday 12 to 5. We also have lap swimming pretty much all day, 5:30 to 7 throughout the week, and Saturdays and Sundays you can see the hours for that. So we'll have rentals, we'll have our swim lessons, swim teams, everything that we typically see out there will be taking place again at Melvin Ford. A few upcoming events, as we finish up here. Memorial Day, just so everyone knows, we will have adjusted hours, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on that day. Again, gearing the one last hurrah until June 1st comes and we kick back to full or pretty much full services again in hours. On June 2nd, our camps start. We have a big lineup of camps. We've got over 1,400 kids signed up. It's going to be a fantastic camp season this summer. And the Memorial Classic Swim Meet is going on June 4th through 6th. So, the unfortunate thing is we get to open May 29th, and we're all excited, and then we come back towards the end of that first week and go, oh, okay, we got to close down now. And I think I put it's actually June 4th and 5th. It will be open again to the public on the 6th for that swim meet. And June 5th, Yoga in the Park starts. Traditionally, this has been at Orchards Park back in 2019 when we did it last, but we decided to go ahead and move it over here to the community center and in the outside space in the amphitheater in the back of the building, offering that at 9:30 on Saturdays throughout the summer. Healthy for Life is back. If you're not really familiar with Healthy for Life, it is our programming for our quote unquote seniors, although we really gear towards active adults, 50 and older. So they're going to be able to go on a hike, organized hike that they go out together on June 17th. And then the big, Independence Day celebration, July 4th, evening in Orchards Park. Going to look very much like it did in 2019. Stage and everything will be back in our amphitheater. Fireworks will be shot off from across the field at Crystal Bridges. And we'll have live music, food, trucks, and everything going on at 7 o'clock. And then the fireworks show starting at 9:30. So that's it for the month of May. Again, we're gearing up. We've been going strong, and we're just gearing up to take it up to another notch here towards the end of the month and going into the summer. So really appreciate all the work and everything that everybody's doing out there. So have a great rest of the month, and look forward to seeing you in the parks.